All right, guys, so before we get into why 99% of golfers I see release the club wrong, we have a couple days left with our Black Friday Cyber Monday blowout special here for the Precision Impact that I want you to grab. You get $25 off of the special, a 365-day guarantee. I want to take all the risk away. So if you don't like it for any reason, if it doesn't work for you for whatever reason, you could send it back, get a full refund. And we're also going to give you our bonus 5-part video training on building the swing of your dreams, where I guide you through step by step exactly how to use it, how to put it on, what to do during the takeaway, the top, how to troubleshoot. Everything is all in there. Obviously, we can't do this forever. This is going to be good through Tuesday at midnight. So make sure you click the link down below to take advantage of the discount, take advantage of the guarantee that's going to go away after this, and the bonus video is also going to go away. I want you to be able to hit the ball better. That's why we're doing this. I hope that you take advantage. We'll put the link down in the description down below. Why 99% of golfers that I see release the club wrong is always because they never get the club in the right positions coming down. You have to release the club incorrectly to fix earlier issues. Now you might hear some coaches, myself included, saying, hey, you release the club wrong, you're releasing it too early. And to fix that, simply feel like you're releasing it later on. But here's the thing, that's not gonna fix it, at least not permanently. That might work for one range session or two, but to really fix your release, you have to find the root causes that are causing the poor release pattern and fix those things. And I'm going to show you exactly what those are and how to fix those right now. So most amateur golfers get the release wrong in that they release the club too early. And let's just define the release as when you load your wrist angles up, there's an angle between your arm and shaft. And when you bring that down, you've got to unload that or release that. So you have to unload it. You have to release the club. The problem most amateurs have is it happens too soon. And when it happens too soon, that's poor contact, that's inconsistency day to day, that's lack of distance, that's no club face control. Okay, so if any of those sound like you, this could be you. We see really good golfers all look pretty similar in impact. They have the hands ahead of the ball, inside the left eye. They release the club later. That's true. You do want to learn how to release the club later. And before I show you how to do that, as I mentioned, you have to fix the root causes. Now, in my experience coaching, there's a lot of reasons that someone could get themselves into a poor delivery position, but I want to give you the two that I see about 90% of the time causing the poor release pattern. And that's where you get the club in this delivery position. In particular, it's club face angle and club path. So if we put an example of a good player during their downswing, as they get into delivery, you would see that they look something like this. And we might put a slew of pictures on here of just players all having the same position. You'll see they get the club head slightly inside their hands, and the club face is square, so let's say toe up or slightly toe down. So the club face is square, and the club path is from inside, defined by the club head inside their hands. From here, I've got nothing to fix, and I can have perfect release timing. But if you get either of those two things incorrect earlier, you're gonna have to do something to fix it. Okay, the two things I see 90% of the time, either number one, the club face is too open. See how that points up towards the sky and the toes behind the heel. When the club face is open, to square that, I have to throw my wrist angles early. See how when I do that from down the line, that makes the object point towards my target. If I had an open club face, even a little bit, and I had a really good release pattern, see how that points way too far to the right. You would hit it a mile right. Your brain will never do that. It will always try and fix that for you by throwing sooner. The second thing is club path. If I get the club path too far in front of my hands, like this, I'm always gonna early release it to try and shallow out the angle of the club from down the line. So it's a fix, right? An early release either fixes an open club face or it fixes a steep over the top downswing. Early release, get the club back on plane. What you want to be able to do, and this is how I want you to practice, let's just put a club down basically your toe line, right? And we'll call this about 3 o'clock. And what I want you to practice first to put yourself in a position to perfect your release and release it later is learn to get the club delivered in a good position. That would have the club, just inside of 3 o'clock, club head just inside your hands, with the toe slightly in front of the heel. A lot of times I'll put a club down at 4 o'clock And that's a good exaggeration here as well. We're just using 3 o'clock for example. So I want you to get the club just inside 3, club head's inside my hands, and the toes behind the heel. That's the first thing I want you to be able to practice. Once I can get the club consistently in this position, where it is inside my hands, the club faces square, then I can start to feel what it would feel like to go through impact. What would I need to do from this spot to be able to get the ball to my target? Not a whole lot, right? I can be very, very passive. Whereas if I put myself in a poor position, face open or club too far out or too far under plane, how the heck would I get the ball to that target? No way I can do nothing. I have to be able to fix it. So part 1, let's get the club in the correct spot, and then I'll show you how we can actually do the release pattern second. So club's down just inside 3, toe is in front of the heel, so the face is already square. Let's hit with that feel first. Okay, so now once we have the club in the correct delivery position, now we can actually train the release. And like we talked about earlier, the whole point is we do want to learn how to release the club later. We want that to happen later on in our swing. How do we control that? We control that by controlling what the trail wrist does. And you guessed it, how are we going to do that? My favorite training aid, the Precision Impact Training Aid. This is the only thing I found where it actually enables you to lock in that trail wrist so that you can deliver it later. So here's how I want you to practice this. Again, do not skip that earlier phase. You have to get the club in the right spot to be able to do this, or your brain's always going to do something we don't want to fix that. So once we have the club in a good delivery over 3, toes in front of the heel, now, as I work through impact, I can feel like my right wrist stays bent back forever as my body continues turning towards the target. Now, we'll put up some pictures here, maybe as I'm saying this. Of course, the right wrist should release, okay? The right wrist does need to throw, but it needs to happen past impact. It happens at like 45 degrees past impact. You'll see at impact, the right wrist is still bent. Past impact, the arm and the shaft line up right over the left leg, and then it lines up with your body at 45. So I'm not saying in a real swing it stays bent back forever, okay? It throws, of course, but if you're doing it too early, I've found via probably tens of thousands of online lessons that by feeling like it stays bent back forever, that will put you in a perfect position in the beginning, okay? So we have to feel like it stays bent back forever, and that's why I love this, okay? This is the best way I've found to do it. So we have the club in a good delivery position. We're gonna set the right wrist. That's just a little bonus there. Now from here, right wrist stays bent back. We're gonna turn towards the target. Now when I get done, we're gonna notice my right wrist stays bent back, okay? The club head's to the right of my hands. And I'm gonna finish these probably, 3/4 finish position. I'll show you in the training series how to go from there to a full finish. But what we wanna train here is just to get to that spot. So good delivery position, the right wrist stays bent back forever. And I'm just gonna keep turning my, my belly button, my belt buckle, my sternum towards the target all the way through. Good delivery, right wrist bent back forever. And there again, very, very solid compressed iron shot. And my right wrist, even into my finish position, never comes out of its bend. That's the whole point of this, okay? So in recap, in case I didn't say it enough, gosh, you have to get the club in the right spot, okay? A poor release happens because you're fixing earlier things. Hopefully that's hitting home there. Once we get the club in the right spot, then we want to learn how to throw it later. I found that the easiest to do by controlling the right wrist. The best way to control the right wrist, Precision Impact. I want you guys to get better. I want you to get one of these, okay? From now until November 29th at midnight, you can get that deal. We're doing this Black Friday, Cyber Monday special. You get $25 off. You get that 365 guarantee. You have absolutely nothing to lose. And you get that 5-part bonus series where I'm going to explain step by step exactly how to use this. I know this is going to help you. I understand you might be skeptical about it. Try it. You get the 365 guarantee with that. Go ahead and click the link down below. Thank you guys for watching.